Hi there, and thank you for your interest in AudioFlow. So AudioFlow is a AI-powered podcast generator which allows you to turn any of your documents, written pieces of information into podcasts within minutes. It allows you to select out of 200 voices, and the voice list is currently growing. And it also allows you to clone your voice and input your own personal touch into your podcasts. So the reason why I built AudioFlow is because the last 15 years I've been working in the digital learning space and comm space, presenting digital learning solutions to corporate businesses around the UK. And one thing that I noticed is a lot of people are looking for learning on the go, as well as alternative methods of learning, because people learn in different ways now compared to the way that they did 10, 15 years ago, when they traditionally did things like e-learning. And with the power of AI, generating podcasts has never been easier. Now, this is not to replace the human conversation. That is not the purpose of AudioFlow. AudioFlow is there to help with giving alternative options to your learners or employees, different methods of comms or learning materials. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a podcast on the system and basically select the voices that you wish to. And the good thing as well is that you can actually translate these podcasts into 29 different languages. So I'm going to quickly just give you a demo now and just show you how easy it is to create. So this is the screen for creating content. All you need to do is you can either copy and paste your content here into the script or key point section, or you can basically just upload a document. Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to just do a random job description just to kind of switch it up a little bit. So I grabbed a random job description for a college nearby, Barnsley College, looking for the director of AI integration. So you can see that the document has been uploaded. All you need to do then is you don't need to do anything with the actual information. The information will just be inputted here. You just need to give it a title. So you can then choose the type of content you wish it to be. So learning, internal comms. There is recruitment as well. So you can actually turn job specs into podcasts, onboarding. But for this one, I'm just going to put internal comms. You can then choose the format of the actual podcast. So if you want it to be solo, so I'm just talking to you now. Alternatively, you can do like interview style, so it's a couple of people speaking to each other, and it's the same with panel, or you have narrative story. So for this, I'm going to go with interview style. The duration really just depends on the amount of information that you feed the system. So the more that you actually give it, the closer it'll get to your target duration. But for this, I'm just going to go for 5 minutes. You can change the tones, so you can say professional, you can make it casual, urgent, if it's an urgent comms that needs to go out. So for the sake of this one, I'm just going to go with casual because this is the most common approach that most people take. Now, there is a kind of like a banter or kind of jokes available into the conversation, and what will happen is that the AI will kind of work out where it can actually place kind of a bit of light banter into there if you want to lighten up the mood. This is for people who have got things like podcasts. We have customers who have podcasts on football, for example, and kind of want to put a bit of banter in here. If it's a policy such as a sexual harassment policy, I wouldn't suggest that you keep this on. Or if you want to kind of keep it a bit more personable, you can just take it off as well. So let's just turn the humor level off just for the sake of this one. There are a variation of different options that you can go with. For the sake of this demo, I'm going to make it really simple and just kind of keep it as is. So I'm just going to call my first speaker, and I'll call it this the host. I'll just name him Adam. You can then choose male, and then you can have a variation of different accents as well. There are more available, so you can just go to more voices available. But for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to go with British. I'm just going to choose any just for now. So I'll go with this one here. You can actually listen to the voices prior to selecting them. Alternatively, the more that you play around with the voices, you'll start figuring out the ones that you actually like and which ones work well together. You can then just click on here to add speaker if you want to add an additional speaker. So we have Adam already there, so I will add a female, so just call that one Katie. Let's go with an American voice for this one. So I'll go with Lily. And that's it really. That's all you need to do. The AI then will take the context of the actual upload of the information that you provided it. It will then script it itself. So it will make a conversation between Adam and Katie. And then it will then output you a MP3 for you then to download and listen to. Now, once you have your first iteration of the podcast, you can then go to the approval section, and this is where the podcast will sit. And here you can then go in and edit the podcast. You can change the script around. You might not like the voices that you've selected, so you might want to just change them voices. And then you can keep iterating as many times as you want until you are happy with the podcast itself. Once you approve it, so you'll basically have the option to approve, keep editing, or you can remove it. Once you've approved, it will go sit into your library, and this is where all your finals sit. In the library section, then you can actually then translate it into up to 29 different languages, from French to Arabic, German, Spanish, and so forth. You can then go in and translate whichever podcast you have just created, and it won't just create the podcast as word for word. It will then take the podcast and it will make it more localized to the way that people speak in that language. Because there could be some nuances, the way that phrases happen, that might need to change beforehand. So it will automatically do that for you. There are a couple of other features as well, which we can have a discussion in a later stage, but there are jingles, so you can text to prompt, and then you can create jingles to kind of introduce your podcast, and you can have it in the intro and the outro. And then all you need to do is just select the jingle you like, and then you can add it to any of these podcasts that you also generate. So there are lots of new features happening on AudioFlow all the time. It does take about 5 minutes to create one of these podcasts, just depending on how much you've actually inputted into here. But as you can see, even when I just said that, the podcast has been generated. So let's just take a listen.
Hey Katie, I heard Barnsley College is hiring for a director of AI integration. What's the role all about?
Oh, it's a pretty comprehensive position. The post holder will lead AI integration across the college's support services.
Wow, that sounds like a big responsibility. Who do they report to?
They'll report to the Vice Principal of Partnerships and Growth, which means they're really high up in the management chain.
And what exactly are they expected to do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, they'll assess processes, identify AI integration opportunities, and implement solutions to streamline workloads and enhance service delivery.
So you can hear how easy it was and how natural the conversations are. You might not like the voices selected, so you might want to just iterate this. So basically, like I said before, you can then go into approvals. You can amend this conversation as well as change the voices if you're not happy with it. If you are happy with it, you can improve it, and then all that will happen is that it will sit into your libraries folder here. So I will just go ahead and approve this one, and then I will go to library. It takes a little bit of time because obviously the more context that you put onto here, the more it's uploading, but you can see here that it has been amended. So let me just go back onto edit the title. Okay, so all you need to do then into translate this is go to translate, and then you can go in here and you can then select the language that you wish to translate it to. So I will go to Hindi. You can then press translate here at the bottom, and then it will then translate the original script into Hindi. You can then select the voices as well. So we'll go with Eric for Adam's voice, and we'll go for Bella for Katie's voice. And then you just generate this. Or then convert the original script, and it will also give you the output in Hindi as well. So that's basically everything for AudioFlow. If you are interested in a demo, I will leave the calendar link below, so you can actually book in a call, or you can email me. You can follow me on LinkedIn as well. If you have any questions, I will answer it directly on LinkedIn, or if you email me directly as well. So thank you so much for looking into AudioFlow, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Cheers. Thank you.